Welcome back, folks, to Sports Talk with Alex and Felix. We're covering the draft 2025 NFL draft live again this year. This time, we're just going over a few picks, and so we're not going to be here like doing the whole 3 hour thing. So welcome back. It's exciting so far. Two picks have gone out, and you have Tennessee, who went first. They kept their pick. They didn't trade out of it. They picked Cam, which was obvious they were going to take the quarterback. And then Cleveland traded down with Jacksonville, and Jacksonville took Travis Hunter. The New York Giants is up. And so we're going to try to see who they're going to pick at this point. And so let's try to listen in.
I mean, Yammer, guys, Mike Yammer, y'all can't see, but Mike Yammer has a tear forming in his eye because his beloved New York Giants.
No, it's here.
So let's see if the Giants get a quarterback, which they need a franchise quarterback. But the way this organization has been making decisions, we have to see how this is going to pan out.
Conversation for another quarterback later.
She passed on Abdul Carter.
I hope that's not the
Do
case.
they ever not high five? Are they always excited about
Gotta
that?
be excited, right? Why not? You know.
And here we go.
And here we go. So
With the third pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Abdul Carter, defensive end, Penn State.
So, as you just heard, the Giants took Abdul Carter as a number 3 pick, a defensive end. It's a great pick. Unfortunately, it seems as if they're not really worried about their quarterback situation and making sure for longevity. If you're not familiar with Carter, I believe he's out of Penn State. He was definitely going to be, looked at and picked in this draft early. And so let's just see what the next 7 picks are and see what happens here. Maybe the Giants will give up something and trade back into the first round to get Sanders. But right now, Sanders is available, which I have a funny feeling maybe the Steelers may end up picking him up. And then going from there.
Yeah.
Or even the Cowboys, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
if he goes that far down in the draft. So
far, what quarterback, what defense, he can put anything.
well, he's a defensive back and
Yeah.
wide receiver. He wants to be able to play both.
And then,
And now a defensive end. He should have a major impact on the defense for the Giants. And as I spoke many times before in our videos, defense should always be first. You can't win games without them. You need to be able to get stops and get the ball back and get more possessions to give yourself a chance. And I guess the Giants need the defense to be able to compete against the Eagles and now the upcoming Washington Commanders organization, who I'm pretty sure they're going to make some good moves here in this draft to help build around Daniels.
It's gonna be really interesting the young kid development of the defense. This will help you out big on the defense.
Yes. And so let's just take a quick look and see if you guys can see. New York fans are basically celebrating with this pick. As you can see, that's Carter. We haven't had, I guess, in New York, a great defensive end for some time now. Obviously, the years that the Giants went to the Super Bowl, it was their defense that ended up helping them win against the mighty Patriots at the time. So, and Tom Brady.
So, talking about the Patriots,
Yes, they are the next ones up. Let's see who they end up picking. They could also end up looking at quarterback as well. Um, let's see what these guys are
So,
willing to do.
so all the pick that is in this live, all the pick will be on TikTok. So
Yes, our TikTok channel.
if the two pick that is up over E, that is the first round pick, the second round pick, now we need to it cut me on. The fourth round pick is competing we got to see about the picture with a new head coach.
Yeah. Well, he's not really.
Well, he got new,
but we got to see how this pans out.
yeah. Also, if you're new here, hit that bell. Get like we we do live every single week. We run through the
To the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. And then
For the NFL.
we're over to Big Ball. We're over to WWE. We're over to and we're over to Wake Up Laughing for basketball. Mark Madness. We did what we now, but this is gonna be a long week, and no, we're not gonna do maybe the top 15 pick. Maybe. Yeah.
So we'll see how this the pace of this draft is going here in this first round. Last year it was 3 hours. It took a while, and it was kind of grueling for us. Basically doing the live covering the draft, and so if you missed something, please tune in to our TikTok channel. It's still Sports Talk with Alex and Felix, and so and we're trying to give the NFL fans what they want, information on these athletes as the season goes on, and so
yeah.
So what's your thoughts? While we're waiting for the Patriots to make their pick on the first pick with Cam, do you think that's going to be a perfect fit for him with the Titans? Now remember, Titans is a new coach there and everything. Do you think they have an offensive line that can protect him, and do you think he's going to be a big asset? And if so, this is a two-part question. And if so, what kind of footprint you think he's going to be able to lead? You think he's going to be able to lead that team to a much better record than what they had this year?
I believe that young kid is going to be a good pick up. And defense, the offensive line could need some help. Hopefully, the draft we're able to pick up a couple of offensive linemen in the draft. It's gonna be tough for him.
But there's not a lot of weapons in Tennessee right now. They got a lot of building to do.
That team, that year of a Brooklyn. That team is also a young team. A young head coach, a young quarterback, a young defense, a young offense. So technically don't have weapons, like good weapons, but get go or well or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt, hold that thought.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell's coming out with the pick.
Fourth pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
Will Campbell is a Patriot. He's a tackle. He's from LSU,
It's the easy way
and
presented by
that helps obviously their offensive line. So let's go back to the Titans, because the Titans made this overall pick. They don't have a lot of weapons right now, but obviously they're still in this rebuilding process. But I think this is a great pick for them as well.
Yeah.
I think Cam has some leadership skills that will help and pertain to that team, and hopefully they can build around him, and we can see his young talent and gifts improve this team, getting him back to being competitive.
So when they move on to Jacksonville, okay?
Right.
Jacksonville move up. Before this, they were picking up the 5, okay? They pick up the second overall pick at this draft. They pick up the receiver. He can do everything. How do you feel about Travis Hunter goes to Jacksonville?
Well, they say, when I say they say, meaning the media, it says that he was the best overall player in this entire draft. And they knew he was going to go pretty quickly on the board. At first, he was really assuming that he would be a Giant, right? Because they figured that Cleveland and Titans would end up taking the 2 quarterbacks, and then that would leave the Giants with him. I think Jacksonville didn't want to take that gamble. Cleveland really isn't a bad team. They do need a quarterback at the helm there, but they made some moves in the offseason, and they kind of fixed that for now. They were a competitive team in their division. So to them, they were comfortable picking up another draft pick from Jacksonville and moving down and still being able to get their first round pick, the person that they know they're going to get in the first place. For the Giants, no surprise that they wasn't willing to trade up or trade down, that they would be sitting right where they're going to sit to get the person that they wanted. And they still might be able to get Sanders somewhere down the road. We don't know. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to really hurt him in this draft is going to be, I guess, him getting paid up front when that time comes. So I hope he's not discouraged or encouraged when he gets picked. But when he does get picked and he's able to show up on game day and he puts out what he can put out, he'll get the money. The money will be there for him. But the most important thing is being with an organization that's going to appreciate him and his talents and his gifts and what he brings to the table. I think, Travis is, very versatile. He'll be able to do both offense and defense from time to time. If Jacksonville is smart, they'll have plays for him on both sides versus trying to force him to play only one. He's that gifted that he can do both. And I think he'll be a big asset for them, both offensively and defensively, however they're going to use him the most, wherever he's comfortable playing the most. I believe he is gifted enough to make a big impact in Jacksonville. So it's been a while since Jacksonville has been quite competitive in that division.
The team that the Eagles go on to the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Yes.
Jacksonville and Eagles do have be going to make the Super Bowl. But anyway, if you are new here, hit down and hit the button. Follow us on TikTok. Absolutely, make it all the pick on TikTok.
Yes.
So,
And so Cleveland is up, and they're going to make their pick. They have the fifth pick in the first round here. And so let's see who they're going to pick. I think they made a pick. let's see when Roger Goodell comes out to announce this pick for Cleveland. Let's see who Cleveland grabs.
Okay. Pick number 3 is up on TikTok. Is pick 1, pick 2, pick 3. On TikTok, pick 4 is coming.
Okay,
I
here come Roger Goodell.
pick
He's
number
coming
5.
up with the pick. So let's listen in.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan.
All right.
So there you have it,
Oh.
Mason Graham. So Graham is from the state, from Michigan, and he is now going to be a Brown. He's a defensive tackle. Again, they're trying to make sure that defensively they're going to be competitive in that division with Lamar and them over there, Joe Burrow, and like it's going to be quite competitive. It's a competitive division, and so defense is going to be much needed for them, and so to deal with these other powerhouses they have, the Steelers. So I think this is a good pick for them. Again, in no rush, do they really need a quarterback right this second? I'm pretty sure they'll get the right person at the right time. And when they do, that division is going to be even more entertaining for people who live in that part of the world, of the country, and to see the competitive of that division.
Look, he can't. I could hit it so bad level. Cause I heard about with absolutely on 1989.
Yes.
So that is the last time. That's the last time the media people put on the last
They won
time.
a division.
That's so that is what I looked at about the ball. That's the news that I heard today.
Yeah. So let's take a quick look at his gifts and talents.
Okay, what number 4? Okay. So if you look at him, he is a good
He's definitely a good tackle. There's no question about it, and he seems like he's going to be a great asset for Cleveland. That's somebody I think that the Steelers would have definitely taken if he didn't get picked where he got picked by Cleveland. There's no ifs buts about it that if he was still on the board when Pittsburgh time comes, there's no if doubt about it. They would have definitely taken that young man. So congratulations to Mason Graham and his family. Let's see, how entertaining that division is going to be in this like upcoming season with their new pieces being added. So so the Raiders are up. Let's see what Las Vegas brings to the table here. Can you send her a message?
Okay.
Please. Sorry, folks. It's a call coming over. Just tell her I'll call her back. We're in the middle of filming.
It's like a file. Oh.
Raiders look like their pick is in. Let's see what Roger Goodell brings out to make this announcement. And here he comes.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State.
You
You
have
said
it.
one of the elite players, your comp was LT.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
So they took a running back. Tom Brady is building his team. And this would be a great addition to them. So the Raiders take a running back at this 6th pick in NFL. Let's take a look. So Ashton is now an official running back for the Los Angeles Raiders.
Oh, boy. This a good team quarterback. I watched him on film in college, and this kid right now is a great pick
This is definitely a great pick.
for that is
Yeah, I think he's going to be a strong asset for them. Dangerous in the backfield. There's no buts about it. Great hands. If they have to do screen plays and some pass plays for them as they work him into the offense. Yeah.
Now I'm will be the Jets. The Jets.
The Jets is at number 7. Let's see what the Jets roll with here. The
And the
7th
Jets,
pick here in the first round.
the Jets don't need a quarterback.
Well,
Actually,
technically they don't.
But-
They still should take
Yeah.
a quarterback. And I mean, look, defensively they wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if those other 2 defensive players were still on the board, they
Yeah.
would definitely take them, especially with their addition to the new head coach Glenn, who played defensive back with the Jets. I'm pretty sure they would take a defensive player. They still might here, but let's see what they bring to the table with their pick.
Then it happened for the
Yeah,
quarterback.
they got him a running back. Like I said, I think the Raiders is they've made some smart moves
Yeah.
here, and so
That he is the full strategy for the pick up a good quarterback. The pick up a good head coach. Pick up a good offense coordinator that is keep this team right now.
is going to be a promising team in that division, and they need to
Yeah.
because you know what, Denver has stepped up last year. The Chargers have stepped up, and now the Raiders. They needed something, and it seemed like they're gonna have everything they need to
So-
be a competitor for that division. Patrick Mahomes and them, Andy Reid. I think their reign might be over in that division. We're gonna see how things pan out for them.
So, also with the is how a brand new courtroom now.
Yeah.
So we see the out. Let's see what the judge pick up. So what do you think? It gonna be a diva
Here it comes. Well, we're gonna see.
or offense?
I think it's gonna be a defensive player. Because he's defensive-minded coach, and you know what? He had the Lions defense on point when he was there. So, you know what? I'm not gonna be surprised to see him pick a defensive player.
Okay.
Okay.
So the top pick in not on to the top 10 pick. All the pick is gonna be up to thought. I take a break. But tonight, hopefully all the pick is gonna be out of TikTok by tonight or tomorrow morning. Hopefully before Friday night will be day 2 of the draft. Round 2 or 3 of the draft. Yeah, don't forget to hit that down, like, comment. What is your favorite team? What is your favorite? Put an answer to that. So, yeah. Okay, so, right now, the broadcast is taking a little break. So, it would be enough to know that is number today. So, book it in.
Well, we could talk about the picks. So far we got up to Travis.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the Giants and their pick. And the Giants took a defense player, and so we know that. To me, I think he was the best defensive player in this draft. He should be a major asset to them. Now, the Giants made some strong moves when it came to the defense this offseason. I didn't really criticize them for that. I actually patted them on the back for doing such, because to me, I feel that's the quickest way to repair a team, is to give yourself a solid defense. Offensively, it costs a little bit more to manage and build a good offensive line. And then, of course, running back, quarterback, and so on, wide receivers and tight end. I know Malik Neighbors would love to have a real franchise quarterback to be thrown to him, and for him to have the impact that he wants. Hold on.
Here it goes.
Here comes the Jets pick and Roger Goodell.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Armand Membu, Missouri, tackle.
So the Jets go offense. They got a tackle. Armand Moo.
For me, I the point.
I don't know. I mean, look, they could have went either way, but I think this is great that they went this way to help strengthen their offensive line, and they can go from there. This is going to be a big asset for them. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. And
Doing good for the quarterback. The quarterback
he
left.
needs that confidence.
He
to know
left.
that he could comfortably step into his throws.
And won.
And right.
The quarterback, it was so good for him to have that confidence to work out that other partner.
Yes.
The pick would be Carolina. Pick number 8.
Yes, it'll be Carolina.
And then pick number 9.
Yes.
But he looking good. He looked great.
So let's just show you a little bit of his work for the Jets. This is their pick. As you can see, he opened up that hole so his running back can get through there. So that was a great choice by them to help strengthen their offensive line and build confidence for their quarterback to be able to comfortably throw the ball.
So, pick number 8. What do you think would pick?
I think Carolina can go either way. They could legit, go offensive defense here. Um, Although their record didn't reflect, that they were competitive in every game that they played last year, except for maybe one or two. But for the most part, um, the pieces that they get today I think is going to be a strong asset for them to be competitive in that division in the South down there, because Atlanta, the Saints, and the Bucks, they kind of everything was like, back and forth, back and forth. And although Carolina's record didn't reflect how competitive they was in their own division, um, I think whatever they go with today is going to be a big asset for them.
Okay, so we go back to back to
Oh, so yeah, so I think this is a good choice by New York. Quickest way to repair your team and get you back on the board. Hopefully, this will help lead to them getting a little bit more victories than what they had last year, sadly. But there's no if buts about it. They absolutely need a franchise quarterback. They can't keep trying to pitch, band-aid or patch this offense together and think you're going to be competitive against the teams in your division. Like I said, they haven't won their division in more than a decade, and they haven't really been competitive enough in their division to even be second place in the division and make it to the playoffs. Like they just have made bad decision after bad decision year after year. And this doesn't all fall on Brian and them, because this is going to be now their third year there. So out of 14, 15 seasons, right, they're going into their 15th season of bad decision making due to the owner. But you've had many coaches and front end people there that led to what we see now. So hopefully they'll grab somebody in this draft, and maybe there'll be a diamond in the rough, and the Giants will get blessed enough that that person will turn out to be their franchise quarterback. Because it definitely ain't Russell Wilson. It definitely ain't Winston, right? And it ain't Dorito. It's not these guys.
No.
You have to invest. Just like they made those decisions to get Eli at the time, which was strangely different for the Giants considering their franchise history. I know people think I'm picking on them, but if you just literally look at their history, they've never been known for drafting a super franchise quarterback. That's never been a thing. They've always got guys that kind of manage their offense. And no disrespect to you, Phil Simms, but I'm just saying from the expectations of what we expect from quarterback year after year, not just with the New York Giants organization, but what the NFL expects is a guy that can throw for 4,000 to 5,000 yards a season, a guy that can put up, 40 to 50 touchdowns a season, a guy that, like rush for 1,000 yards a season. This is the standard now in the NFL for quarterbacks. And pretty much a lot of the quarterbacks are somewhat within that range. And the ones that are like at the elite level, they definitely do that every year. You can put a blindfold on them. And if you ain't got a quarterback that could at least get you somewhat of some of that, you're failing.
Okay.
You're failing. So
Okay.
next pickup was the tackle for Carolina. I'm sorry, the Patriots. And so I think with the moves they made in the offseason, this is a good pick for them that they went and picked the tackle.
So the how one called the on the people the big the right now those three picks can Gabia and they two of them are good with quarterback. One of them is not good with quarterback. That is they. So we will see about the Africa.
Yeah, he could end up going to the Saints. Also, we need to see. We don't know how much his dad is playing a role in.
Yeah.
Wait, here come Roger Goodell with the pick for the Panthers. Let's see who they.
With the 8th pick In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona.
So they go wide receiver
Here
from
we go.
Arizona.
I talked to a very
Toro
good friend of mine around that Panthers organization this morning.
McMillan is who they end up getting
Uh,
out of Arizona, wide receiver, offense basically, and that's good for that division
yeah.
because right now when we look at the star wide receivers for
Yeah.
the Falcons or the
Tampa
Saints
Bay.
or Tampa Bay, it's like okay, guys on Tampa Bay are getting old,
Yeah.
like Evans, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
look, this is good young pick. And they're gonna ready to show some highlights of
Yeah.
him, so I'll just let you guys see for yourself the work this young man brings in.
Very good film. For look at that.
Look at that one-hander
Ooh,
right there
oh,
in the
that-
corner of
that-
the end zone. Look, eyes on the ball always, and great footwork. How he managed to stay inbounds. You know,
The pin number not a okay.
yes.
I feel like now it's not the time for us to get picked up. But it could be the Cowboys. It could be from the team, but now looking at him, they need a second quarterback out there. So we got see pick number 8 is a good pick for the Panthers. Pick number 9 is a
So yeah, he seems to be excited. I think this is a great pick for the Panthers. I think he's going to be a strong asset. I mean, he's such a big physical wide receiver, and I think this is going to make all the difference for them in their division. This is going to be huge for them. I can't. I'm excited. Can't wait to see this young man actually show up on the field and play.
the pick number 10 is a bear. Okay.
I'm pretty sure the Bears would have loved to pick this kid.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Last year they were so close in so many games.
Yeah.
So many games they were so close.
And then almost went ahead and put what a kill.
They killed that momentum.
Yeah.
Killed that momentum out of them.
And then you got a new head coach now with the former pick. So hopefully this year will be about that year for that team. I feel that year was a bit
Yeah, I did too. I kind of wanted the Bears to be really competitive in that division. I was also cheering for the underdog Lions because the Lions have never been like, they just always fell short. And so I wanted to see the success there because there's always been Minnesota and the Packers. And the Bears will pop in every once in a while. Detroit was never really a great team. And they've had a rough ride for a really long time.
until the head coach.
Until they made some changes there and they were willing to invest well. And so they changed the culture and the mindset. And now it's a very competitive team. And so
So pick up it could fucking okay.
the Saints is on the clock, folks.
It's not on the clock. How about the fucking where did it go?
The 49ers, they're a mess.
They-
They literally are a mess.
They
They unloaded a lot. They made a lot of salary cap room. I still don't think they've actually given their quarterback a contract. So I'm not sure what direction this team is really trying to go in, just because it seems like there's just no destination put in the navigation so that we can see where they're driving off to. So we have to wait and see. The Saints wasting no time. They've already made their pick.
Nope.
I see them, making their moves in their war room there.
If you have
So let's.
you have the owner, the head coach, hockey, the
If I had to guess, it'll probably be offensively.
yeah.
Let's see if is it Sanders, or are they taking a wide receiver or any of those things of the kind? So let's just see.
And keep in mind that is my former
Offensive coordinator.
offense
Let's
coach.
listen to Roger Goodell. And here comes the pick for the Saints.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
Okay.
Okay.
So they
So-
took a tackle, so they're strengthening their offensive
So-
line, which is no surprise for your ex-offensive coordinator / now the new head coach of the Saints.
So
This is great for them.
Mhm.
He's gonna build the right way. He came from a winning organization that understood the foundations of building a solid foundation in the team, and so I suspect he's gonna do it right. So for you Saints fans, have confidence, be patient. It's coming. You guys are gonna be enjoying this ride. I think this is a great pick.
so there are the more people.
But it's okay. Look, the one thing I've learned about the draft, if for some reason, if multiple teams don't feel like they value enough to get you in that first round, you're not going to be a first round pick. And there was a lot of chatter for a while whether or not he was going to be a first round. And they looked at a couple of things because there are some things about him. And so I'm not surprised what's happening in a sense. I am, but I'm not. I'll just put it that way. Because I think he has enough tools to have an impact, right, on a franchise, no matter who it is. But it's a shame that he's not being picked in the first round. If I'm him, it's good that he's not being picked in the first round. Excuse me. The only thing that really makes the difference, whether it's first round or the sixth round, is going to be the pay for contract down the road. But if you truly are gifted, right? Because everybody, if you don't remember, Tom Brady was a 6th round pick. Okay, I watched him play in college, and to me, I thought he was a fantastic quarterback. He didn't look good in the Columbine and so on, right? In his senior day, and all these things. So he fell all the way to the 6th round, and then look what happened. The man won seven rings, right? 7 trophies. So you don't know what you're getting. And then you look at Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He was the very last pick of a draft, and this young man who had played well in college, but for some reason, nobody was willing to take that shot. So if I'm Sanders, be patient. It's coming. You'll be able to prove yourself. You'll be able to prove yourself when you get on a franchise that is willing and able to pick you and give you that opportunity.
So the bear in the
Yes. At the 10th pick.
what do you think?
For the Bears, I can see them adding an offensive weapon to their offense, allowing for them to be competitive in that division. Because look, those offenses can put points up, right? We know that the Packers can put points up. We know that Detroit can put points up. We know that definitely, without a doubt, Minnesota can put points up. So they're going to need to be able to put points up. Because if they had that last year, there's no doubt that would have probably made a difference in some of those games they had, and they would have probably been, fighting for a wild card spot to get into the playoffs. So, look, I think they go offense here, and I think that'll be a strong asset for them.
So pick number 10, it could be pick number 11, it could probably got a pick number 2, it could cut.
Could the Cowboys go all out and get Sanders? That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Look, we all know Jerry might just jump on that. But if he, like the other owners, have had the same chatter that came from their scouters and the coaches and GMs, he will not make that pick. He'll be like everybody else, and Sanders will slide down in the draft and maybe get picked tomorrow if he doesn't get picked tonight. Something tells me that it would be best for him if he went in the second round versus the first round. The difference would be it's money that makes the difference. It's not his talent, doesn't mean anything. He's the talent. He has to be patient, and I believe things will roll out for him when he gets his uniform and he steps on the field and he starts commanding the team. We're gonna see the difference.
Okay, here we go. Bill, how make a pit of it? We got me for the what the
Okay.
girl
I
who
think Roger Goodell should be coming out soon, and here he comes.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend, Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. My heart is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Misty, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the fourth pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award. So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
Tight end. So they went offense here. And we're going to show you some highlights of this young man's work when they put them up. I think this is going to be a great asset for them, having this as an offensive player. He might obviously do some blocking from here and there, screenplays. So here we go.
and it's good for him. He was there, Michigan.
Yes, he's right in the area.
So
So he'll be able to be home with his family.
yeah, so
See them. Look at that. Just amazing. Footwork, hands. Great. Right there. Look at that. Like on point. Control. And these are all important features you have to have, so that you can really make a difference on impact in this league.
the thing of it is a phone. No,
11.
would be the phone. The phone through the pie.
Let's see. Let's see.
No, but a number 7 would be the top one. The top one will make it into the yeah, I believe the top one will not get up to here. I believe the pilot will pick up the offense option.
I mean, look, I would think they'll probably, if they really want to protect Prescott, then you would do that. You will get him an offensive lineman because the guy always seems to be getting injured all the time. He's starting to look a lot more like Tony Romo with the injuries, which isn't good for his longevity in the NFL. And so if they do right in this first round, they can grab a good tackle or guard. No guards have gone yet, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
They could pick one of these two guys and strengthen their offense. Now, when you look on the other side, what made this past season difficult for them was the Eagles' defense was the number one defense. They were able to penetrate, get back there, and then same thing with Washington, because those two games were close, even though the Cowboys pulled one out against them. So
for number 15, the Miami Dolphins, the flipping out a team. Oh boy, the offense look they have on the defense side.
look, they've always needed help on the defense side. Again, I will always go back to having a good defense because look, if you go back to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, if all they needed was one stop, and they would have won that game. And the defense couldn't hold up. We've seen this repeatedly with even Buffalo, right? Playing against that offense of the Chiefs. You needed one stop. And they had like a tremendous amount of talent on their defense, but the defense just couldn't get it done, right? Mahomes and Andy Reid and them found a way, and they kept chipping away. And yes, there was officials helping them, and yes, they were holding, and those are the things. But if you have a defense that you're not getting that, there's no ifs, buts about it. That would have been over, and the 49ers would have won their 6th Super Bowl. They've lost now 3 Super Bowls, I think.
They have 3 Super Bowls. Baltimore and 2 Super Bowls.
So they lost their last 3 Super Bowls. And it's a shame. And they were in every single one of those games. It came down to a last-minute play. Defense. And there should be no ifs, buts about what they need. We know that they need other pieces because they did let go a lot of people this offseason. But for the most part, if I really want to win a championship, I'm going to make sure that my defense is a championship defense, and it's going to get me what I want. If I'm the head coach there.
So you said good defense.
I think they should go defense. Look, went to Washington this offseason. So they had some talent on the offense. There was like a whole bunch of wide receivers they had there that are up and coming, right? And I'm not saying they don't need another wide receiver. If there's somebody that's super gifted, you take them when you can because that talent only comes once in a lifetime, right? But if I'm trying to win a championship, I gotta have a championship defense. That is going to help me, right? Now, offensively, Purdy needs a bunch of things to help him. They couldn't go offensive line and give him more protection and give him more time.
So if the ball Purdy contract, that easily the floating up if the floating up at the retirement.
If they don't sign him this season, because it's this season, okay? So, and they obviously have time because that's why they didn't do it. And obviously they're going to wait until after this weekend's over with the draft before they really sit down and crunch numbers because whoever they pick up here is going to be added to their salary cap, right? So they need to be pretty smart on how they're going to do this. This is probably why they haven't been in a rush to pay him. I would just pay him. I wouldn't want to gamble with the possibility of him going someplace else. He is going to win a championship. Okay, there's no ifs, buts about it. He's going to win a championship in the NFL. And so if I'm the 49ers, I should want that for him to win that championship at my organization. But too many times he's put them in good position and then the defense gave up yardage, a first down or whatever it was, and kept an opponent in the game. That just can't be. You have to fix that. So 49ers is on the clock. And here comes Roger Goodell with this pick. Let's see what the 49ers pick.
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams, defensive end, Georgia.
Okay, so they did exactly right. Defensive end from Georgia. Michael Williams, a big asset, and they needed that, especially after what happened with the one guy who decided he did not want. I'm not going to mention his name. I thought that was really disgusting. Decided he was not going to go out and play after dressing to play. It was defense, and I really felt like, you know what, this makes all the world in a difference. So let's just take a look at Michael Williams' video here and what he's bringing to the 49ers for the 49er fans. As you can see, he executed right there. He's coming from a great football program. Georgia is a very competitive university, and there's no ifs, buts about it what their players bring to the table. And so, yeah.
So, he take a couple at ping up a truck in the Cowboys. What do you think the Cowboys would make the call?
I think the Cowboys, they don't really. I mean, I know, again, I don't see Dak as winning a championship, right? But he is a good quarterback, right? His stats show it repeatedly, year in and year out. So offensively, he's a great offensive player. He's a great asset. You don't really need to replace him. And if you're gonna replace him, then they should have did a trade before this draft, okay? And then move on if that's what it's gonna be. But if he is going to be your actual quarterback for this season and the next 5 seasons, whatever it is that him and Jerry has going on, then you have to give him the tools he needs so that he can get you closer to winning a championship or getting you back into a championship. And so at this point, yes, the Cowboys defense was weak, right? Teams were able to run the football, manhandle them, move them out of the way. But offensively, my quarterback keeps going down. And so if I'm the Cowboys, I get myself a guard or a tackle to protect my quarterback because, again, if he goes down again this season, then it's a wrap. It's like, look, at some point, one of these injuries he ain't going to be able to bounce back from. That's what happened with Romo. Once he got that back injury, he was never the same after that. And so they need to figure it out how they want to go about doing it. And that would be one way is to so let's go. Here it is. Cowboys pick is in already.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama.
There we have it. I called it, right? They took a guard, and that's exactly my point, right? Now, it would have been a firestorm if they took Sanders here, right? Because then everybody would be like, oh, you got him and Prescott. So this was smart. This young man is a good pick. I'm surprised he didn't go a little sooner just because, you know, a strong offensive line is going to definitely help whatever quarterback. It could be Tom Brady back there. I guess he would love to have a solid guy like this guy if he was still playing. So let's take a look at Booker's his tape because they're going to show you Tyler Booker. He's 6'4", 321 pounds, right? And he's out of Alabama. Again, another great football program, another university that actually produced great players in the NFL. And this obviously was not a bad choice. You can't go wrong here. And so, and he's also going to be close to home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, actually. You got to cover it over.
So, yep.
So, Cowboy.
Offensive guard.
Okay.
So
what the what I'm doing.
So for Miami, look, they got to keep their quarterback healthy. This young man has had way too many concussions. Um, they gotta make a decision
I
on making sure that this young man can be able to finish his career in the NFL and not be cut short. And so he needs a wall in front of him, and that's what they need to give him by all means
too
necessary.
too bad the Dolphins to pick him.
This guard,
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, they should have thought about. I guess they didn't think the Cowboys would go this route.
Yeah.
But if I'm in their strategy room, this is exactly who I would have definitely
Yeah.
picked Booker. As a matter of fact, if I was New York Giants, I would have took Booker. Just
Yeah.
at number 3, just because having a guy like this to protect, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. There's not let somebody leg whip him and take him out and injure him intentionally. This young man is going to be a strong asset in the NFL for any offense that he would have been playing for. So he
So-
definitely kept quarterbacks upright.
The pick of position is a top game. Okay. More likely, I think it's gonna be Austin tackle to build on to help that man up. You need a man there to protect your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, because when he's healthy,
He's
they're
pretty
very,
good.
They're very competitive.
Yeah.
And I mean, what a difference. So he's gifted enough to be a franchise quarterback. That's why he's where he's at. But the health, they got to get that resolved. They have to get that resolved. And his biggest thing is not arm, legs, or fingers and toes. It's basically the head. And so if they can keep him upright and have him learn how to fall a little bit better, they're going to have to find ways to, I guess I wouldn't be letting him run. So I would take any running play for him out, just
Yeah.
simply because until he's able to fully heal, and it takes the brain a long time to heal. It's soft tissue. It's not like the rest are the flesh on the body. The brain is made of a little bit different tissue, so it takes longer to heal, right? And people don't realize that. The NFL, these guys are playing every week. When boxers get knocked out, that's a concussion. That's what that is. And they don't have another match for another 6 months to a year before they get back in the ring. And that's not because they've been knocked out. Even if they don't get knocked out, that's the pace of boxing. It's 6 months to a year before they're back in the ring, right? Because you got to negotiate a contract, got to find the right opponent. So their brains have a lot more time to heal in that time span. But for the NFL, you can't afford 6 months. 6 months, the season's over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So this is why it's crucial that they, if you're running a quarterback, you need to know that they know how to fall and not be injured. So,
So, yeah. I think it will be cold. What do you say about the cold?
the Colts wasn't too bad of a team last year or even the previous year. They've been very competitive in their division. So they don't really need a lot of pieces. So they're blessed in a situation where they can pick up a tight end, they can pick up a running back, they can pick up a wide receiver here. They can go defense here, a defensive tackle, a defensive end, right? They could even add to their offensive line, go guard or tackle. Like they're in a situation where they can pick any of these things and it'll be a safe pick for them. And it's going to be a strong asset for them, whoever they pick here in this first round, that's going to contribute. They're not, in other words, they're not hurting. Their biggest problem with them had just been consistency at quarterback. And if they take care of that, right, like they're not in dire needs for a quarterback, but if they take care of that, then everything else will gel and come together for them. So
Okay.
this pick that's coming up, whatever they pick is going to be a safe pick for them. They're not like some teams, like I was able to call out Dallas
Yeah.
immediately and tell you what they needed, and then look, they picked just that, right? So in this case, the Colts aren't really that bad of a team. there are some pieces they can use, which will just make them more competitive in that division. But to be honest with you, they can pick something. Other than a kicker and a punter, I wouldn't recommend those in the first round. But anything they get at this point is going to be an asset for them.
I just fuck with good person in the world. Pat McAfee. He great. He kick the
So,
ball. But
if you're not aware, folks, sorry, because you're in their division is the Texans,
Yeah.
the Jaguars, and the Titans. And we all know the Titans now have added their new quarterback, Cam Ward, right? That's going to spice up that division. And then you got, Jacksonville, who took Travis Hunter. We're going to hear his name a lot in this upcoming season. He's going to be a flashy, nice, shiny toy for Jacksonville. And now you got Indianapolis coming up. They can make a safe and proper pick. And the Texans, who so far as back-to-back, has gone to the playoffs to be competitive. We can see where they're going to go once those guys come up later in this draft.
the book I could recap pick 1 through pick 15. So I hold that for. Here we go.
Here comes the pick for the Miami Dolphins.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan.
So they went defense here,
Yeah.
not offense, which is still not a bad pick. Because I'm going to just tell you why. Now, here's the humor behind this. If your defense is wicked and you're getting more possessions for your quarterback and the other team can't really move the ball, then your quarterback is going to be safe anyway. So this is not a bad pick for them. Pretty smart. He's from Michigan. So as you can tell, they were very competitive this past football season for their university. I think this is a great pick for the Miami Dolphins. And so I think this is going to be a huge asset for them.
So pick number 14. We get a bathroom. Pick 8 and pick 8. Yeah, right now it pick going to be pick 14. Would be the Colt, and the pick 15 would be the Falcon. And the iPhone Falcon, you would see more put up team now after pick 15.
Yep. So you can see, here's his little highlights here, causing turnovers and havoc in the backfield. I mean, look, even with good hands, being at his weight and size, good job.
So, okay. So, I know if it was real here. That if it was real for the draft, they won of the draft. Will pick 1 for 32, go and get the front round pick. The second round, the first round will be tomorrow. 4, 5, the third round we go. You go back here, go football. So, oh boy. People are happy that a good day. Here come the pig for the Colt.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
Okay,
Okay.
took a tight end. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. As a matter of fact, I was already thinking this pick for them, and I think this is a great pick for them. I think this is a great pick for them. He's going to be a big asset. He's out of Penn State. He weighs 256 pounds. He's a big boy. And let's look at his highlights here.
Look at that.
Right
Unbelievable.
down the seam. Ball was right on point. Boom, right there.
One
Nice
hand
catch.
catch.
One hand catch. Great with his footwork. And as you can see, look, I mean, that's fantastic. That's what you want to see. And the fact that he's a guy this size, he is going to be a very competitive. So Tyler Warren
Out of Penn State.
out of Penn State.
Tight
Tight end. Indianapolis Colts, great investment. Great investment.
So the family is happy. And Coach, you will be happy. With you. No, it's the opinion of the 15. It's a factor. And that's a factor. I thought the factor, and I thought the couple would be put on team. Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, his footwork and everything. I mean, he's good. He's good. This was a great pick. Again, any team would have benefited from grabbing this young man. And surprisingly, the Patriots didn't grab him because they've had a long history of
Yeah.
having great tight ends there. So,
The pick number 15 is coming that I call that as a tight end. What do you
thing for the Falcons.
yeah.
The Falcons. Let's see.
Remember cook
They were close to
Oh.
getting into the playoffs, right? They had
Yeah.
a chance to eliminate
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay and take that spot. And so they had some late competitive play towards the end. Which Kirk Cousins got injured.
Yeah.
The rookie comes in late in the season for them, and then they were on this tear for a moment and almost pulled it off. And so again, it comes down. I'm going to say defense for them, right? So you got a new rookie quarterback, which now he's going to be in his second season for them. But if I'm them, I'm getting myself a defensive guy and to shut down the offense and get after the quarterbacks. So. Your thoughts?
I got the part of the office. I believe office is a way to go. Help me build. Me help build. Me help build.
What's so funny? What you laughing at? You gotta get it out.
Me help. Me help build. I believe you're gonna be good.
Sorry, folks.
I believe you're gonna be good.
Well, is he going to be starting this season? Because
We have no idea.
I got a funny feeling. I don't think he's going to be starting this season.
Okay.
I think the rookie.
Okay, whoever is part B, but that whoever called that cook out of rookie to protect to protect the quarterback.
So you think offensive lineman is
Yeah.
what they should be getting? I think that will probably work as well. But if I'm them, I want to be able to get to the quarterback and disrupt them so that they can't get another few seconds to throw a ball down there and try to control and manage the clock. I want to disrupt that. I want somebody that's going to beat their guy and keep the quarterback. Have their minds basically wondering, where is he? Is he going to come through in a time when, like you see that last minute drive they had towards the end of this season, right? The 2024 season. I would have want somebody to actually prevent that from happening. So defense to me would have been a way for me to prevent that. I need a disruptor, somebody that they're going to have to put two guys on, which then make allow another guy to possibly get through. And this way, this seals the games for me, because offensively, they really wasn't that bad. They played pretty well from beginning to the end of the season. And unfortunately, they fell just a little bit short of not getting into the playoffs. So you take 1 or 2 games that they lost and you flip them, and guess what? They would have been the ones in the playoffs. They would have been the ones to win their division.
So I thought that would be the hot though. Like a bit cold. And the Cardinals right now in those good quarter go do that season. That season needs help, and the Cardinals know that season needs help. Even with a better good defense.
Yeah. So as they're talking about, Kirk Cousins do have a 4-year contract. He may be starting this season. The rookie Michael basically started 3 games last year and almost got them into the playoffs. So they got to get those wrinkles out of the way, and then go from there. The Falcons' war room right now, they seem quite comfortable and confident. They're waiting to hear this pick. The fans are just going crazy in Atlanta. So
And there was a group there too. So whatever you are, you pay out more to that the head coach of phone who meet this call about part of it to move it away.
yeah.
To move the call for that.
Let's see what happens. They're taking a little long here with this pick.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. So far, it's been a pretty good draft.
So far, it's very moving. And we want that.
Yes.
And we want to keep moving. It will be long draft, but we see how we feel. Go into throughout our mark. How we feel about throughout our mark. And here we go.
And finally, here we go. I figured Atlanta would take the longest. Right?
Yeah.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker, defensive end, Georgia.
Okay, so they went defense here. They got a linebacker, and so / defensive end, because he'll be able to play both those positions for them on the defensive side. So Walker,
he's home.
He's home.
He is good.
So I was just gonna say I was gonna call out the school. So he's from Georgia. Obviously, again, great football program. We're going to take a look at some highlights and what he brings to the table. You see, he beat his man, made the quarterback rush right here. Look at these tackles. These are great. He's going to be a strong, great asset for Atlanta. I believe that at the same time, this helps Kirk Cousins or Michaels, whoever will be starting. And so, yeah.
So, think of this in context. It also time for it also time for a quick recap of pick 1 through 15. Football pick of the championship draft. It can't all.
Right. For the Titans.
Yeah. Number 2.
For the Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is go to
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Number 3 for the Giants was defensive and
Will.
I don't see his name up here. It's still on Walker.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
He be out there.
Abdul Carter. That's who they took.
Number 4, they can pitch with
And the Patriots took a tackle.
yeah. Number 5 would be
The Browns.
yeah.
And the Browns took they took a defensive end,
Yeah.
defensive tackle,
Mason Graham.
Mason Graham.
That like a top 5 pick.
Right.
And then,
The Raiders were at number 6.
yeah, that
They
running
took a running back, which is a great pick for them.
pick
And pick 7
would be
was the Jets.
yeah.
And the Jets took a tackle
Yeah.
as well to help their offensive line. And then pick 8 was I'm just gonna
Yeah.
look it up.
Yes.
This is like
Unbelievable.
ridiculous of not being able to get a consistency of information. Number 8 was Carolina.
Number 9, number 10 was there. Number 49. Number 2 was the Cowboys. 13 was the Colts, I believe. Yeah. No, Miami was 13. 14 was the Colts. 15 it was Atlanta. 16 got up in the Colts. 18 was Dallas. Last pick was
Oh, here comes the pick for the Cardinals.
With the 16th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Mississippi.
Okay, so he's out of Mississippi. Walter Nolan. He's a defensive tackle, and so they went defense for the Cardinals. You know, just as you picked, you said that they should go defense and help that defense, and that's what they did. So he'll be on the front lines for them. Let's take a look at some highlights. You okay?
yeah, I'm fine.
As you can see here, they ran him in a couple of different formations there, and excellent job by that young man. And I think he's going to be a big asset for the Cardinals. Again, defensive tackle from Ole Miss, Walter Nolan.
So, no, I put out more. 2 hours. How do you feel?
I feel okay. I mean, it was a long process.
Yeah. We got but I don't know. I don't know. Up a picture like that.
Yes. Yeah, I think we're going to go up to pick 20. And just so you know, so the last remaining picks, the next up is Cincinnati. And then you got Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Tampa. And then Denver at 20.
But it keeps go.
Yes. So there'll be another 12 picks after that.
So, yeah, so I picture it start off the life, but a pitfall you all the pick one for first two. Hopefully by tonight or in the by tomorrow before round 2 or 3 kick off.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, look.
Yeah, broadcasting is a lot of work. There's no buts about it.
We did
Definitely
that.
a lot of work.
We did that. Yeah, 3 hours, almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, this first round has been pretty interesting. I think most of these teams have been safe. They took safe picks. If you're just tuning in, just so you know, Sanders have not been picked so far this first round.
Hit the other
The
pitfall.
teams that we would have assumed that would have taken him decided to hold off at this point. They may pick him up in the second round.
And those teams were compared to the top the Brown. The top of
The Patriots,
the Patriots.
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville. But no,
the Jets,
but no,
Cowboys,
but no,
49ers. Right.
made that call.
Nobody made that call yet. And
It's
we were talking earlier, you know, the year
call.
that Eli got picked, there was 4 quarterbacks in that draft. You had obviously Phillip Rivers. The Giants traded him to the Chargers to get Manning because This man got picked first overall and went to be a Charger, but didn't want to be a Charger. And then down the road at 6, the Steelers took Ben Roethlisberger, and then Denver took Jay Cutler. And so you had 4 competitive quarterbacks, which would have done well on any of those 4 teams wherever they went. But obviously, out of the 4, 2 won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And so,
It was,
which has been Roethlisberger and Eli.
yeah.
And so,
They cut all over.
well, he was with Denver for a while, and then they traded him
Take a bear.
to the Bears, and then
That
he
is.
started moving around the league, and then eventually out of the league.
And then,
Rivers, who spent his entire career
it
with the Chargers,
and then,
never had the luxury of making it to a Super Bowl.
and then that moved came over to the Colts, and then after his career,
Yeah.
in the Colts, but more people were football through Colts, but they cut a fit with
Right. And it looks like the
bit go.
Bengals pick is in. We're waiting for Roger Goodell to come out to announce the pick. What do you see here for them? They signed their people. They needed to sign, so salary cap's gonna be tight. I think they go defense here.
I think defense too.
Let's see.
In Green Bay, right now, they are happy and he can the community.
Yep. There we go. Okay.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart.
Shamar
defensive
Stewart.
end, Texas A&M.
Defensive end.
I caught it
Texas
too.
A&M.
I caught it. Good defense here. And good defense for the corner. Yeah. Build that defense up. Hopefully, get it back. Get it back. You can put on
They
the-
almost
yeah.
made it into the playoffs. They had a rough start starting last
Yeah.
season. They came back strong. Adding this young man, Shamar Stewart, I think is great. Defensive end.
And he take a hot guy.
And yes, let's just go to the highlights and let's see what this young man brings to the table for you Bengal fans out there.
Wow. Unbelievable. Alright. Okay. So they all have this kid is a good pick.
A good pick for them. He should be able to chase down Patrick Mahomes quite easily.
Yeah, and a build. Yeah,
Josh Allen, yes. And Lamar, because that's the division. You could be playing Lamar twice.
yeah. Yeah. And maybe maybe.
Well, Aaron Rodgers can't run anymore. Like he's
Yeah, but he get yes,
so
and maybe do a factor with a brown. Wow, more hot. The Pepper Bay, the Bronco, and the we have a Bronco. Tomo pig.
So just want to talk a little bit, not about the draft, but being that Cincinnati was just up, you know, both them and Cleveland, both the cities, been trying to get a new stadium.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a possibility that maybe they'll pair up like the Rams and the Chargers,
I look like
or the Jets and the Giants,
yeah,
and have a brand new facility that both teams
good.
could be happy playing
You know
in.
why?
And so,
Because they need one. They really need one. Don't sit it up. So hopefully they're ready.
yeah, those cities wasn't willing to give them what they wanted. So
So they'll take the day and they can walk home. How about you? With the there's no good quarterback.
well, Seattle, yeah, obviously Gino's not there. He went to the Raiders.
But
Um,
that's all.
yes, they picked up Sam Donald, so I think they solved that problem with the quarterback. Now they need to get him some weapons because
All good up there.
what you
Gone.
call it left as well.
They're both there.
And so let's see where Seattle goes with this trade.
Yeah,
You know,
DK Metcalf.
yes,
Left
he
in
left,
Pittsburgh.
right.
And
Just answer it.
yeah, keep on the way.
Okay. So here comes Roger Goodell with Seattle's pick.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel,
Ray Zabel.
guard, North Dakota State.
They went offensive lineman here. They got an offensive lineman. This is only the second
I'm
guard.
not going to do the
Going off the
iteration of
table.
my draft because my 3.0 was much better than my
Yeah, mine
4.0. Like,
And so, as you can see here, they went guards. There's only second guard that went off. We've had only 2 tackles, I think, that have gone off the board. So for offensive linemen, you know, we're seeing them pop off here in this first round, and they're really worth it. You know,
We might have that coming over. We might not get a team.
okay, so Tampa's up.
I like the
And
Broncos.
Broncos. Just in time for a Bronco fan.
Yeah.
So,
We might meet a Broncos fan, or we might not. Hopefully.
yeah, this is a good job by him. His highlights was actually on point. There he is there. He's on the phone with Seattle. And there's your Seattle fans excited about the new offensive lineman that's coming here to protect Sam Donald. So, and he's from North Dakota.
Yeah. Think what do you call the high court the Benjamin?
Right, but so we know they don't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
I say defense or wide receiver, which would be a great tool for them. They need on either side of the ball there, and then let's see what happens from there because division isn't as strong, but we got to see how they all do in the NFC South to see how they all do. That's gonna let us know who's gonna be as more competitive from what we've seen. Now we know, yeah, they were in the playoffs this past season, but each season is a new season, and we got to see how these guys are gonna gel together and what teams are gonna build, what team they're gonna build as a unit once they come together.
Okay. A Tampa Bay doing offense out there to keep picking me up. The defense, the need people on the defense also because they get older. That team was a Super Bowl team. And actually, I put it up through in that Super Bowl team. So for me, I go there with the defense. It help that defense out.
Yeah.
We have to out a lot of the team. Like if you knew what we are, you would definitely and what is it for thought. Confidence, the safety back, and yeah. You must pick one through a team, but if you want pick one person pick for people, it all TikTok. Whatever to beat the up pick our team, we will call pick our team up and look at that.
Fuck is wrong with this thing? There you go. Okay, so Tampa's on the clock. The pick should be coming soon.
Oh, we forgot Pittsburgh.
What about Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh, man. Take,
Sanders?
yeah.
Well, look, any of these teams can end up grabbing him, especially if they have a lot more salary cap room. They don't necessarily have to start him, even if they already have a starting quarterback. They might, stack up, and he might be their future quarterback down the road. So you gotta be careful. Not necessarily that he has to start the season for whoever he goes to. Even though in the NFL today, a lot of teams start their quarterbacks faster now than they did years ago.
Hold that ball. He got the computer. Thing I see. Here we go.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka,
Emeka
wide
Egbuka.
receiver.
And they went wide receiver,
I-
which is what I kind of figured. So,
say.
yeah.
He take a hot egg and a million more.
Egbuka.
Let that be.
Nice route running.
Wow, up there. Wow, up
Look
there.
how he adjusts to catch that. right there. Obviously, that was a pick set right there. Easy for him to be able to run. And there he is, blocking for the running back. And that's good to know he can block if needed. And there he is running from the back formation. And so, Amuka, good job.
Picture is a buckle. Remind me, you want me a blocker, so, you okay?
Yeah, allergies.
It's just hard
So,
to eat
Yeah.
people. So,
Eyes are itching. Okay.
we got pick
So you got
No.
Denver on the clock, number 20.
number 3, it's a buckle, wait a minute. It's home. Yeah. Come in now.
So our special guest is a Broncos fan and want to, appear and give their thoughts about their team. So if you just come on this side so that people can see you. Welcome to Sports Talk with Alex and Felix. You're just in time for your team about to pick. Denver has the 20th pick. As you know, you guys were very competitive. You made it to the playoffs last year. What would you like to see? Are you rooting for them to get a defensive player, offensive player?
I prefer the offense. The rusher. Go
Okay, so you want a running back.
Yep.
A running back might be a great asset, but I have to honestly tell you, I would say, last year you guys had a pretty good defense, but when you guys went to Buffalo
Yeah.
manhandled you guys in the playoffs, and nobody expected that because they assumed that Buffalo was one-dimensional with just Josh Allen, the running back and wide receiver there, and they said, oh, with your defense, and Buffalo showed up, and it was a completely different game
Yep.
than everybody expected. And yes, it was your first time in the playoffs in some time. Was it 9 years? It had been before
It'd
they
be
made the
not
playoffs.
because I have
So-
10 nothing.
Yes, was the quarterback there. And so I think defense would be another added tool to be able to shut down the run. You guys got a fantastic division that is awakened over there. You got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and Andy Reid.
Yep.
You got Tom Brady, the Raiders with Geno Smith and Coach
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, and then you have the coaching staff of the Chargers, Hardball, and which is competitive, and now you guys with Sean Payton, your quarterback. So right now we're gonna wait and see. You guys are on the clock, And we might be getting your pick right now. You have it?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see what the commissioner comes out.
And I'm about to say it's happening to make the call. And the pick in
And these guys look ready. They look excited.
Quarterback.
no,
Nope.
that
That's
No,
not
was,
here.
yeah, that was last year.
these are put up either.
So
What?
and man, you guys twice when you played Mahomes, those 2 games, you guys were really
Yeah.
close. And obviously, the second game they set down all their players and you guys beat the crap out of them. But that first game came down to a field goal, and obviously you know what that changed the
Yeah.
whole dynamics. If you guys had won that game, it would have seeded you guys differently in the playoffs. You guys would have had a different position and maybe not played Buffalo. Probably would have played somebody else.
And here we go.
So here we go with the pick.
Okay, here we go. April is World Wish Month, and the NFL is proud to support the life-changing wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. Yes. One of those wishes will be coming true right now. Sam is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has bravely battled cancer. There you go, Sam. Raise that fist up, baby. His wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team. Please join me in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam.
Yeah, let's go Broncos.
Thank you.
All right, with the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
Okay, you guys went defense
I
to
did.
back.
Yeah.
To back, and great choice.
Yep.
Great choice. Let's take a look at the highlights of this young man, and let's see what he brings to the table to add to an already added strong defense in Denver. Look at this interception. Boom, and gone, turning it around the other way. Right there, breaking up a play again. Great job by this young man. Look at this tackle right there. Absolutely.
Copy.
So, young man did a fantastic job for Texas. He's now going to be a Denver Bronco, and we enjoyed having our special guest on as a Denver fan. Can't believe we have a Denver fan here. Excited about this 2025 season that's upcoming, and we're going to wrap it up here tonight, folks.
Yeah.
So remember, there's 12 more picks left. Alex will keep you guys updated on our TikTok. So please, if you can click on the thing there and subscribe, and also check us out on TikTok. And this is Sports Talk with Alex and Felix. Thank you guys for tuning in to this 2025 draft, and we'll see you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.